absolutely dominated, and other people have dominated his wife, but he has absolutely dominated this niche, and no one's going to take it from him. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is John, and today I wanted to talk about a little bit of YouTube drama that I was actually catching up on last night with Gunther. Now, before I get into it, I'm sorry if I sound a little different. Last night I was up puking, but I saw this video pop up. I got a little bit of food in my system. I'm feeling a little bit better, so let's get into it. Today I want to be talking about Adam and Lena the Plug. Now, a lot of people, if you don't know who they are, Adam and Lena have their own podcast called No Jumper, and Adam is consistently called being a cuck for letting Lena be with Jason Love. Now, upsettingly, I have been doing research so I could make sure that this video stays clear-cut and all facts-based, so I apologize if I get off topic. I do think this subject is actually pretty funny, and to some extent, I think is misconstrued, and I actually started realizing I have a lot of respect for Adam and the things that he does, but let's talk about it. So, to kind of understand what was going on between Adam and Lena with the Jason Love, if you don't know who Jason Love is a porn star who had intercourse with Lena on a video. It went viral. Saw the video. Goddamn. Goddamn, he is a better man than me. I ain't gonna lie. He is a way better man than me. I could never. The only reason that happened in the first place is because Adam cheated on Lena with an unknown assailant. I sadly couldn't figure out who it was, and as of recording this video, if I find out a little bit later, I'll pop a comment. So ever since the video of Lena and Jason Love kind of went on the internet, everybody kind of labeled Adam a cuck. Now that, I think, not only increased his fame a exponential amount, it also kind of opened a lot of doors for Lena and Adam. Now, a lot of people think that what he did was absolutely nefarious, absolutely ridiculous. Why would you let somebody sleep with your wife on the internet? The worst place imaginable. I mean, if you do it just on the, on the side, you're not making a whole ass video about it, talking about it constantly. Like, maybe that's okay, but you just sound like an older version of Sneeko, and we all know what happens with Sneeko. Sneeko just gets dogged on all the time. But what I want to talk about is the fact that with him opening this door for people sleeping with his wife, Jason Love, it opens a lot of access to different types of content and niches that didn't already previously exist. I know what you're thinking. Why would anybody let someone do that to their, significant other? Greed and morality, I think, are two things that go hand in hand. Sometimes you mess up your morality, or you do something that you think is a little immoral for that extra couple bucks. I mean, look at, a lot of different things. I'm not going to name them off. If you can't think of any, then I don't know what to tell you. There's a lot of things out there that are not good to do, but can get you a lot of money. With him in this situation, though, where the cuck statements start is kind of where I think they stop. The only reason it's cuck-based is because it's online. If it would have happened and she would have just cheated on him with Jason and it wasn't public, I don't think anyone would have labeled him a cuck. They would have just labeled Lena a cheater and shit like that, which I think is fine. I mean, label whoever you want, however you want, but let's try to stick to the facts. Cucking is whenever you see your partner have intimate intercourse and you are watching it, and some even go as far as to satisfying themselves while this thing goes on. It's a little crazy to think about, but it's important to stay on topic whenever we talk about labels like this, because labels get very aggressive and very disrespectful very quickly. And so in order for you to sit down and be like, this is what this is, you have to know what this is. And I'll pop up a description of what cucking is, that way, just in case anyone gets confused. Now, the reason I went back to talking about the doors that are open for Lena and Jason, and I think a really big door is their show For the Love of Lena. Let me tell you guys, if you guys have not seen this show, it is so fucking funny, bro. It crosses a boundary between gay and entertainment and cucking. It is a level of cucking in this, because he's basically watching a bunch of guys be like, oh, hey, I'm gonna do some things. Your wife's bootay. There's a lot of really funny characters and some interesting porn stars on there, but my favorite segment, I think, whenever I was watching this with Gunther, we weren't watching the show, we were watching Cliff Notes on it. I'll link the YouTuber I was watching down below. Please go support him. I think he made a really good video on it, and it's really entertaining and informative, and it's goofy. He has a really good taste on it, so I think that's really cool. So check him out in the link in the description below. But my favorite little take on it is when they all come out and they whip out their fucking schlangers in front of Lena, and Adam. And I swear to God, this man is, he honestly, to some extent, he's a fucking legend. Because in order to see, I didn't watch Euphoria because so many people said that there was just too many dicks in there. So for him to have a bunch of people basically walking out one at a time, slipping it out, and having his wife comment on it, and him being like, well, that's a penis right there. That's a big one. Wow. And then you would also get like the Office feel where they sit down in the room, you know, Survivor, things like The Bachelorette. They'll sit down in the room and be like, so whenever Adam was looking at my penis, it really made me think to myself, like, man, he has no idea what I can do, you know. I'm a tiger. I'm ready to pounce. I want to get inside Lena's cheeks tomorrow. And look, again, this is a door that is opened up to them because no one else is going to do this. No one else is going to do this. So this is still entertainment, and it is something that hasn't happened before. I mean, unless it has, and I've been living under a rock, I guess a log at that point, because like it's wood. I would not like to not know about this type of shit. For everyone to be like, oh, you know, what he's doing is nefarious. Let's really talk about this though. He's created a podcast, he's created an environment, and he's created his own personal niche over literally being okay with having people be intimate in his relationship. And he doesn't really have a problem with it. And it makes him so much money and so much content that that's all he has to do. He also popped up on the Whatever podcast, and then that's kind of whenever he talked about his like life plans. I only really watched about the part where he talked about his plans on it. I didn't watch everything because as entertaining as this is, I don't really like watching nothing but sex on a weekend. But when he walked onto the Whatever podcast, he was sitting down talking about his life plans, and his goal is basically like with everything that's happening, he's probably going to create a business with Lena, and they are going to try to retire with $10 to $30 million and then disappear off the face of the earth. Now, if you know anything about how things trend and like everything pops up like that, will they pop up if he disappears? Yes, absolutely. But do you not think that he could just disappear? I mean, honestly, after the Jason Love and Lena the Plug situation, like they became irrelevant after a week, after a month. They was just that's how relevancy works. You have to stay on top of it and constantly be pushing out the thing that made you famous in the first place, because everyone wants to see one thing, and if you don't push out that one thing that we want to see from you specifically, then there's no fucking way I'm clicking on your video. That's just how things work. Now, with the rest of the show, which I know I'm segueing back and forth, I'm trying to stay as entertaining and informative as possible, and these are all facts for the most part, except for my own personal reaction. Whenever you go to the show, in the end of it, with the 10 contestants that are trying to sleep with Lena, eventually one of them wins, and they get the opportunity to, I thought it was just they have sex with Lena, and he sits in the corner and watches. That is cuckoldry. That is not the best thing on the planet. I could never do that, and I know a lot of other people could not do that. And it's okay to not do that. That is your personal preference, and you are allowed to have whatever you want, period. I mean, if it's a preference, keep that preference, understand it. But that's not what happened. Actually, they go on a podcast, they talk a little bit, and then they have a threesome. Now, I think that's where his cuckoldry life stops, and I mentioned that with Jason Love, because I don't think Lena is going around having sex with just every Tom, Dick, and Stan, and Adam is sitting in the corner just watching. We know another cuck, like I said, Sneeko, and Sneeko was openly admitting to everyone trying out cuckoldry when he obviously didn't fucking like it. And he is still in that mentality where his girlfriend can date whoever she wants, and he can date whoever they want. They're in a polyamorous relationship, I believe that's what it's called. And so comparing two different people and two different versions of cucks, I think is very interesting, because Adam has done something that I don't think anyone is ever going to be able to compete with. And it partially deals with cuckoldry, but the other part being okay with other people being with your wife. I could never. If I'm married with someone, I can say this confidently, like, it's entertaining for me because I could never see myself in this situation or with her, whatever, period. Like, no way, I'm not doing it. My ring goes on one finger, that's it. That's my wife for the rest of my life, unless she divorces me because she found out I make YouTube videos. The reason it's entertaining is because I don't think a lot of us would be okay with something like that. And so whenever I say that they've created their own personal niche, it's because he has absolutely dominated, and other people have dominated his wife, but he has absolutely dominated this niche, and no one's going to take it from him. And his whole plan is to make money, create a business, and after he gets the amount of money he wants, like I said, $10 to 30 million, he was then going to retire. That's it. Done. Off the face of the earth. Sure, he might pop up a couple times whenever his kids get older or something like that. But I mean, for the most part, I think he's to his business like strategy, and I think he's a little admirable for being able to deal with this and make fistfuls of money. On the Whatever podcast, he talked about like the scene and everything, and he was like, yeah, I mean, it was whatever, but I mean, we made like a fistful of money. Dude, you know how many times if you walk up to a dude and say, what would you do for $20? Yeah, change that to what would you do for 10 million? What would you genuinely do for $10 million? I would do a lot. I'm going to tell you right now, that is money you can live off for the rest of your life if you do it right. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, he has created a really interesting business model. He's obviously happy for the most part. From what I can tell, he hasn't posted anything concerning. And him and her are in a very happy relationship where they can do a lot of open things publicly. And I think he's commendable for that. And it's entertaining for the most part. I think that he's created an interesting business model. And I mean, on one hand, you can respect him for it. And on one hand, you're like, I could never do anything like that. So yeah, that's really the end of the video. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and this is for fun. Don't like go down and be like, blah, blah, blah. It's not that deep, bro. I stream on Twitch, and I have a Discord down below. This Twitch is twitch.tv/CiscoManiac. The links for the video that gave me this idea, and my Discord and my Twitch will be down in the description below. And have a wonderful rest of your night, and I hope I'm feeling better by the stream, whether I stream tonight or tomorrow, whatever. I hope I'm feeling better. I'm going to need to get some rest after I edit this video. But thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.